This video is sponsored by my favorite website creator, Squarespace, the best place to go when you want to get a domain or create a gorgeous website or an online store. Do you feel pretty right now or downright ugly? I think it's that time again. We're overdue another video in my ugly series to remind ourselves to stop being so dramatically self-critical. So this is your sign to stop believing that you're actually ugly and remember that it's not you, it's them. And by them, I mean, society and all that. So here are another 5 of them, 5 weird reasons why we don't like the way we look. Let's talk about the backhanded compliment, which is something that I, as an influencer with, hundreds of comments every day, get quite a huge amount of. So by the backhanded compliment, I mean just like a compliment that's meant as a kindness, but actually backfires and only makes the person feel worse about themselves. And here I'm going to have to blame society and, beauty standards, because some things are considered to be desirable, like skinniness and youth and clear skin and thick hair and big eyes and lips and all of those things. And when we get those types of compliments, oh, you look so skinny in that outfit, or oh, you look so young for your age, that kind of thing. Although it's meant as a compliment and a kindness, it also sort of perpetuates that these are the things we should want for ourselves, and that we should be scared of getting wrinkles or showing off our flabby bits or having, hair on our face or any blemishes at all, really. So now, of course, I'm not saying that compliments are a bad thing. If you ask me, compliments are like the loveliest things in the world and we should do it much, much more than we do. I'm just saying that some compliments might leave you feeling a little bit conscious of the current beauty standards and making you feel afraid of not fitting into them. So it's all a bit hectic, isn't it? Trying to have clear skin, a great body, and somehow be able to actually break the natural law of, aging. So maybe give ourselves some compliments for the stuff about us that actually don't fit into the beauty standards. How cute is it with a tummy full of food, for example? Or, having a little bit of fluffy hair on your face, or those laughing wrinkles. I don't know, imperfections like that, they are cute. We already know this, and we should compliment ourselves on them more often. So we remind ourselves that quirks, they are a good thing. I'm so happy for teenagers today that things are changing because, obviously the world is more crazy in a lot of ways, but one thing that has changed and keeps changing for the better is the sensational shift in representation. When I was a teenager, the only women ever seen in any type of media really were skinny, tall, white women with big hair and flawless skin and huge lips. Heroin chic was actually a trend that fashion magazines would tell you to opt for. It was the dark ages indeed, and it has messed me up in a whole lot of ways. Even though I am a white, tall, semi-skinny woman myself, I can't even imagine how it must have been for my friends who looked completely different and never saw themselves or the way that they looked represented as desirable. Thank heavens for social media, and thank heavens for girls and women all over posting content about themselves with confidence and a smashing sense of style. Because obviously there's so much beauty to be found in all types of appearances, and uniformity is so incredibly boring. Sure, we're still a long way away from a society without beauty standards, but I think no matter what you yourself look like, a good idea is to just find fashion accounts out there created by women who look like you and see others celebrate their style and, their appearance. Because especially if you have something that's become a fixation or a hiccup, seeing others embracing that same hiccup and looking stunning and confident, it's powerful stuff to make us shift our perspective and just get over ourselves a little bit, I guess. Oh, this next one is sinister because I find that it's so harmful. All those beauty tips and fashion advice that talk about how to hide flaws? Of course, the person giving this type of advice isn't doing it with the intention to be mean or make anyone feel bad, but I feel it just damages our confidence so much for one simple reason. The flaws that are being pointed out, a lot of the times we didn't even know that we needed to worry about them. I can't even tell you about the number of times that I've been made aware of beauty imperfection on myself simply because someone online is talking about the best way to hide that flaw. I'm not even going to tell you which flaws I mean because because then I'm like spreading the self-consciousness to you and the cycle recreates itself. So that's why I have actually like a long time ago made the decision to only talk about my flaws or like my imperfections in a loving light, as something to like celebrate, as you know, adorable quirk, instead of something I want to hide. So like my outsticking ears, or like my wobbly knees, or like my extremely small head, or my wide shoulders, those are things that I actually love about myself, even though they are things that are not desirable according to beauty standards. So if I hated my outsticking ears, I wouldn't mention it on any of my channels, because I know that would only make a lot of you go like, wait, do I also have outsticking ears I need to hide with this or that hairstyle or whatever? And I would, without meaning to, create more self-consciousness, which, believe me, is the last thing that I want to do. So that's why I instead like show off like sleek back hair, or like how I actually enhance my ears, because I love the quirk of them and I want to show them off. So I think we should all stop like pointing out the stuff that we dislike about our own appearance to others, not only because, you know, it's mean to ourselves, but because we're perpetuating these like extremely narrow and unforgiving standards for other people too. Does this make sense at all? Another reason a lot of people feel less than pretty is, you know, let's call it the anti-main character syndrome. And what I mean by that is simply like an overall feeling that you're not special and that you're not one of the beautiful people. And who do you think you are to like dress in extravagant clothes or do your makeup or hair in dramatically glamorous ways? Simply that, you know, you don't think that you deserve to aim for beautiful, that you have kind of accepted that you are just like average or even unattractive. So if you're feeling this way, I just have to say, girl, what a radical misconception. Like when I look at myself as a blank canvas, you know, without the makeup, without doing my hair, I can sometimes definitely feel less than pretty, but that doesn't mean that I'm not beautiful. So, you know, I dress up and I use the reddest lipstick known to man, and all of a sudden I feel like glamorous as hell again, just from, you know, going for it. Because I do actually think that I'm worth feeling beautiful, no matter what my, you know, blank canvas looks like. So I think for a lot of people, this is something that comes from the inside, this voice saying that we're not pretty enough, which has absolutely nothing to do with our actual physical appearance. Obviously, this isn't something that you can just change overnight. For me personally, my confidence in the way that I look, it actually came quite gradually, and honestly, you guys are the main reason for it. Like, you're being so kind and telling me that I have a great sense of style and that I look super pretty today or whatever. It has really, really helped me. So here I can just say, like, first of all, what are you telling yourself? And second of all, the people in your life, what are they telling you? Because like, life's too short to surround ourselves with people who make us feel worse about ourselves. You are the main character. Like, this is your life. You're living it right now. So this is your sign to, you know, dress the hell up, put on tons of lipstick, go out there and have fun. There's not a moment to lose. Have you ever felt that way, that you sometimes look in the mirror and go like, ooh, I look really nice today, only to like a few days later look in the same mirror and feel like you look absolutely atrocious? Like, oh, your face is all of a sudden hideous. What happened? How can the same person in the same mirror both look really good and really bad? Well, here's what I think. At this point in life, it's time to acknowledge the fact that we can't trust our eyes. They are not telling the truth about, well, anything. You don't look the way your eyes are telling you, because your eyes are connected to your brain and your brain comes up with all sorts of mad things. Whenever I have one of those, like, my face is actually hideous to look at type of days, I just take like a long moment and, you know, I take stock of my mental status. Like, am I hormonal? Am I hungover or stressed or anxious? And if so, my brain will take it out on my face or my body or my life in general. Anything else that I can think of to complain about, my brain will do it. One thing I learned a long time ago is that when I'm like mentally not 100%, I do not listen to a word my brain tells me, because it is lying to me. So instead I will just like try to get through it without thinking too much, and like instead rely on my routine and try to think about something else and just let it pass, because it's too negative. Because I know that like any moment now, my face will look absolutely fine in the mirror again. I just need to ride it out. Because I mean, honestly, isn't life more fun if you only listen to your brain when it's telling you that you look gorgeous, and deciding once and for all that it's on those days that it's telling the truth? Your gorgeous self is the true you. Your ugly self is just a representation of your hormones, or like a slight chemical imbalance today. So if your mirror today is telling you that you're unattractive, it's nothing to worry about, because it's not the truth. One thing I know for goddamn certain, we are all gorgeous, gorgeous girls. No buts, no excuses. I mean, all of us, every single one. Absolutely stunning people. How are you feeling? I hope you're feeling good about yourself, and that we all feel like we should just be like kinder and more accepting. Like what I said, life is short. Our main objective is to enjoy just the hell out of it. But please do talk to me and do talk to each other in the comments. This is a safe space, so do feel free to share how you're feeling. And do you feel like your type of appearance is being represented and celebrated enough? Do you feel gorgeous, or is this something that you're struggling with? Either way, I'm sending tons of support your way. Do give me a like if you enjoyed this video, and obviously you should subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, so that I will see you next week. Alrighty. Now, do you want to create a beautiful site, maybe start your own blog? If so, you should definitely do it with Squarespace. Listen to this. With Fluid Engine, a next-generation website design system, it's never been easier for you to unleash your creativity. So, you start with an incredible template and you customize everything by simply dragging and dropping. It seriously couldn't be easier. Squarespace is also amazing with blogging tools to share your stories, photos and videos to make it easy to reach your audience. You can also auto-post your content to Twitter, Facebook or Tumblr. They have great traffic analytics so that you can see how many people are visiting your site, how long they're staying for, where they're coming from and what they're interested in, like beauty or fashion or maybe books, for example. So what are you waiting for? Go get your free trial today at squarespace.com, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/jennymustard to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today, and hope that I will see you next week already. Peace.